Join the conversation using the Shell Rotella hotline, 866-907-3339. Red Eye Radio at Shell Rotella. What matters is inside.
Eric Harley and Gary McNamara for the Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. Do you like the way your home smells? Serious question. Do you notice the odors? They stack up. Cigarettes, cooking, diapers. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier uses cutting-edge oxy technology to quickly eliminate any odor, guaranteed. With over 300,000 units sold, you can trust that it works.
And don't forget those stinky litter boxes, trash cans, cigarette smoke, even dirty diapers. Gets rid of the odors in just minutes. The powerful thunderstorm sends out O3 molecules that destroy odors, even in hard-to-reach places, and there are no filters to buy ever again.
Right now, you can get 3 thunderstorms for under $200 with a $200 discount. Place one in your basement, your bedroom, your family room, put them all over the house. Go to EdenPureDeals.com. Use discount code REDEYE to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Discount code REDEYE, and shipping is free. This winter, give your diesel the treat it craves. How's Diesel Treat? It prevents gelling in the coldest temperatures without using alcohol or harmful solvents. Safe and effective in all diesel and biodiesel blends, Diesel Treat is also a fuel conditioner, so it lubricates fuel, prevents deposits, and safely removes water, extending the life of your engine. With Diesel Treat, you'll experience increased power and performance while noticing less smoke, rough idle, and shifting on hills. For a treat that's 100% guaranteed, turn to How's Diesel Treat. Visit houseproducts.com for more.
We're coming on Truckers to the Jamboree. It's the 44th Walcott Truckers Jamboree, July 13th through the 15th. Set your navigation for Interstate 80, exit 284. It's the Truckers Jamboree, with lots of exhibits, antique trucks, big Iowa pork chops, live music, fireworks, and the Super Truck Beauty Contest. Performing July 13th, Electric Shock in concert at 7 p.m. July 14th, Shenandoah at 7. And July 15th at 1, the Danny Lynn Howe Band. All brought to you by Mobile Delvac, Freightliner Trucks, and Catscale. Shuttle rides will be available to and from the grounds. For a complete schedule, visit truckersjamboree.com. Bring the whole family to exit 284 in Walcott, Iowa, for the biggest trucking party in the country. July 13th through 15th, all roads lead to the Walcott Truckers Jamboree at the world's largest truck stop, Iowa 80. In Walcott, Iowa, USA, there's something for everyone to see. We're coming on Truckers to the Jamboree. Free admission and parking. Sponsored by the Trucker Jobs Magazine is your monthly source for finding a great truck driving job in today's market. The Trucker Jobs Magazine has informative features to help you manage a business, stay safe on the roads, and keep up with the latest regulations affecting trucking. It also has fascinating stories about truckers like you. Pick up a free copy of the Trucker Jobs Magazine at one of almost 400 truck stops across the country. Or you can visit thetrucker.com for the digital edition today. Sponsored by the Trucker Media Group.
AM, the home of the Ben Shapiro Show, and heard on 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, the Cumulus Media Station. This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Linda Kenyon in Washington. Former President Trump has been indicted by a federal grand jury for retaining classified government documents and obstruction of justice. This woman in Seattle responded.
Hopefully it does stop him from running for president. I mean, I think that would be great.
CBS's Stephen Portnoy with Donald Trump's response to the indictment.
The former president broke news of the indictment and his forthcoming court appearance on his social media platform, calling it a dark day for the country. Almost immediately after the announcement, the Trump campaign sent out a fundraising email. CBS News confirms the grand jury has charged Trump with 7 counts, accusing him of mishandling sensitive government documents and obstructing Justice Department efforts to retrieve them.
Before the news of the indictment broke, President Biden yesterday was asked whether he could say anything to convince Americans that they can trust the independence and fairness of the Department of Justice.
I have never once, not one single time, suggested to the Justice Department what they should do or not do, relative to bringing in charge and not bringing in charge.
Mr. Trump has repeatedly attacked the Justice Department. He has become the first former president in U.S. history to face criminal charges by the federal government he once oversaw. The air quality has been brutal on the East Coast after smoke from wildfires in Canada has drifted into the U.S. Is there any end in sight?
Still that northerly flow bringing a lot of smoke into the Northeast, with parts
of New England seeing some improvement, getting back to better air quality and gradually improving into the moderate category, but so many still in the unhealthy category.
Meteorologist Chris Warren at the Weather Channel says 15 states from Vermont to South Carolina have issued air quality alerts. Parts of the Midwest also affected by smoke from those wildfires. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says the state will deploy a buoy barrier to deter migrant river crossings.
We're securing the border at the border. What these buoys will allow us to do is to prevent people from even getting to the border.
Funding will come from $5.1 billion approved by the state legislature to secure the border. The first buoys will be deployed at Eagle Pass. A Texas National Guard member drowned last year at Eagle Pass while attempting to rescue migrants in the river. General Motors strikes a deal with Tesla over its electric vehicles.
General Motors is now the second company to reach a deal with Tesla for access to 12,000 of its electric vehicle chargers in North America. GM plans to adopt Tesla's charging plug as standard for its EVs in future production, a move that's similar to the deal Ford and Tesla announced last month.
This is CBS News.
Hiring's a lot easier with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Inflation has pushed up the cost of just about everything, which means if you bought life insurance a few years ago, it might not be enough to protect your family today. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. Call Select now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour. Call Select Quote at 1-800-613-8990. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to selectquote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-613-8990.
We need a system, right? We need a system that
Go to selectquote.com now. Details are
A new hairstyle is trending on TikTok.
Are you obsessed with the Big Mac Filet-O-Fish French fries? McDonald's fans are going to extremes to show their devotion by actually getting their haircut and style to resemble the famous golden arches. The McDonald's bang look is trending right now. Some TikTokers are even out with some tips to get the M-shaped fringe.
McDonald's thing, so you brush back and then like that.
It kind of looks like two giant cowlicks. Stacey Lynn. CBS News.
Residents in an LA neighborhood
No, I
are
say
getting
that.
Uber
I
Eats
say,
deliveries
wait.
tonight. As food is showing up at homes in Highland Park, the orders are mostly from McDonald's, Starbucks. Use other people's names and you'll be entirely paid for. Not a bad problem. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
Wait a minute, nobody's threatened about you more than the Democratic Party. We got now, if you don't call a guy a girl, you can lose your job. All right, anyway, I guess the Republicans don't understand, the Democrats don't understand it, but I do understand, America used to be a system place. And I think that I've never seen a man in the country, a former president, vilified, just all because he's different. He's different. He got a big mouth. He does. But
The more important question is that.
Yeah.
Crunchy or smooth?
Still beautiful.
Yeah, but are you crunchy or are you smooth?
Depends on my mood.
Oh, okay.
Depends on my mood.
Okay.
Anyway, I hope he gets. I hope whoever gets president just just pardons there. I mean, he's a former president. Whether you like him, in the Bible says, honor, give honor to those who should be honored. He was president of the United States. He did a pretty good job. And so we are worse off now in America, economically and morally, than we were when he was in there, and he didn't even call it deposition. So we are taking kids now, changing their sex, genitalia, because, oh, we want to name this girl. I mean, we are so messed up in America right now. I'm down with Trump. Not because I like the guy, got a big mouth, he's arrogant, he's narcissistic, but he did a good job getting this country on track. Now look at it. Now look at it. Huh? Listen, we are an example of people who can agree to disagree. So, and that's good. You're wrong, but that's okay.
Well, I think you're wrong.
Okay.
That's okay. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. There we go. I was talking to Melissa. I lost my mind talking to Melissa. All right, let me go back to work. I'm going to pray for Donald. Woo!
And Monday for more of you across Central and South Alabama. And that's your first alert forecast. I'm WSFA meteorologist Amanda Curran on News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned, family driven on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Your Friday kicks off with no major violence or accidents. Interstate systems moving as we get into its traffic areas. Broadway and Aubrey Creek. No problems on Highway 14 coming in.
Right. So why are we indicting one guy
High school students get a jump start.
and giving everybody else a pass?
Today's
That's after they committed the crime.
Buckle up, it's the law. Montgomery Skywatch traffic. This is Major Delay.
Good morning, I'm Judd Davis. This is happening in breaking overnight news. Former President Donald Trump called it, quote, a dark day in the United States. The Department of Justice has indicted the 45th president of 7 counts in a classified documents investigation. So far, the White House has not commented. It's not clear if this will impact the former president's travel schedule. He is scheduled to headline an event here in Alabama sometime later this summer. A woman charged with setting fire to Montgomery's First Baptist Church was found guilty. A federal jury convicted Xiao Qing-Yan of arson and illegal possession of a firearm after she was seen on video setting multiple fires in and around the building. That building had significant damage, but has since been repaired. She faces up to 20 years in prison. And don't forget to join us today for the WSFA 12 News Summer Fun and Food Drive. We'll be at the Renfro's at East Chase Market until 7 o'clock this evening, collecting non-perishable food items and money for the Montgomery Area Food Bank. We hope to see you there. That's your news.
We hope to see you there. Trump, still my man.
My drinking had become a problem.
Dark day in America. Dark day.
Head pounding.
Now I'm going to have to.
Anxiety hitting me hard. Thinking, how did I do this again? What's wrong with me? Why can't I
Yeah,
stop?
there we are. Now we got the Saudi Arabians
Drink less.
telling this.
Naltrexone could help you. Naltrexone
Oh, I
is an
tell you.
FDA-approved medication that reduces cravings and pleasure from drinking, making it easier to drink less or quit alcohol altogether. And you can see improvement almost immediately. Whether your challenges with alcohol are mild, moderate, or severe, or health makes it simple to get started with treatment. Just text AGAIN to 323232 to get a secure link to our private online assessment. One of our licensed medical professionals will evaluate your assessment, and if medication is right for you, prescribe it directly online. We'll deliver your prescription right to your front door. No doctor's office visits required. You really can stop drinking or just drink less. Text AGAIN to 323232 to get started today. Text the word AGAIN to 323232. Text AGAIN.
Research shows that successful ad campaigns share 8 characteristics. Radio is the only local media option that delivers all 8 of them. Radio reaches your potential customers close to the point of purchase. It provides local consumer interactions with emotional connections that build trust and credibility for your business. Radio is unskippable and quick. We get your message out in 24 to 48 hours, and radio is very affordable. That's why radio consistently gives you the highest return on investment, and it's also why it should always be your base media buy. Research also confirms that marketing campaigns generate even higher returns, starting at a 19% lift when they are on more than one platform. That's why Cumulus offers a variety of effective digital solutions to enhance your base radio buy. At Cumulus, we are your one-stop shop to deliver a coordinated radio and digital campaign that will get your business results. Hi, I'm Sonia Thompson, and it's my job to get your business results on News
I don't know,
to learn more about how to get
but I've been told.
Radio1440.com and click on Grow Your Business.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with heart failure, my mother remains strong.
Because without strength, you lose hope. Together, we will rise above heart failure.
To help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
And here we go.
Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and the sun does not
And good morning, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine. For once again, one more day, you're on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. It is time for our daily bread, a word from on high, something that'll change your perspective or at least give you a new one. Today's daily bread is simply entitled Our Place of Safety. It is June the 9th, 2023. Our scriptural insight today comes from Psalms 121. Psalms 121:5 says, "The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. Govern yourselves accordingly." Good morning to you. And again, it is June the 9th. It is a day that has never been. It is like all the other days, a day that once it's gone, it shall never, ever come again. You don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done this day that you don't. And you certainly don't get a chance to come back and undo the things that you do. So whatever it is that you do with this day, June the 9th, 2023, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day. If you have lived a while, you've seen many, many, many yesterdays. And if we're blessed and given the grace and mercy of God, we may, I'm not sure, we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of our lives. What are we going to do with it? Well, whatever we do what you can, while you can, for as long as you can, until you can't, and reach back and help somebody else along the way. Bishop Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well, no man living, no man dead, no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say that is the standard by which you live life, you shall always be successful, because you are never a failure until you quit. We say, give out if you must, rest if you can. But you never quit. You never give up. Because winners, while they may fail at a thing or two, they don't quit. And while quitters, well, they'll never win. Because you cannot quit. You cannot win if you quit. My mother said, always put one foot in front of the other. She said, nothing beats a failure but a try. Martin Luther King said, if you cannot run, walk. And if you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. My good friend Jimmy Valvano once said that each day you ought to do three things. You ought to laugh, you ought to cry, and you ought to think. And if you do all that in one day, you've had a most interesting day. One that cleanses the soul. Good morning to you. Our place of safety. That's our daily bread for this day, June the 9th, 2023 AD. Good morning, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine.
Hi, and thanks for joining us for today's encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional titled, Our Place of Safety. It was written by Monica LaRose. Retired teacher Debbie Stevens Browder is on a mission to convince as many people as possible to plant trees. The reason? Heat. Extreme heat in the United States is the #1 weather-related cause of death. In response, she says, I'm starting with trees. The canopy of heat protection that trees provide is one significant way to protect communities. It's life or death. It's not just about beautifying the community. The fact that shade isn't just refreshing but potentially life-saving would have been well known to the psalmist who wrote Psalm 121. In the Middle East, the risk of sunstroke is constant. This reality adds depth to the Psalm's vivid description of God as our surest place of safety, the one in whose care the sun will not harm us by day, nor the moon by night. This verse can't mean that believers in Jesus are somehow immune to pain or loss in this life, or that heat isn't dangerous. After all, Christ tells us in John chapter 16, in this world you will have trouble. But this metaphor of God as our shade does vividly reassure us that whatever comes our way, our lives are held in his watchful care. There, we can find rest through trusting him, knowing that nothing can separate us from his love. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for being our place of shade and safety. Help us to find rest and courage as we grow in trusting you. Thank you, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. My name is Alicia Reisinger, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Time to rise and shine, people. Time to get up. You're on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. So let's get motivated. Come on now. Tough and tough.
We're gonna jump on the big iron. Stand up, hook up, shuffle to the door. Stand up, hook up, shuffle to the door. And leap right out and count to 4. Leap right out and count to 4. If my main all open wide. If my main all open wide. I got a reserve by my side. I got a reserve by my side. Here we go. Here we go. All the way. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Rough and tough. Hey, lottie, lottie, lottie.
going. Let's get it moving. Hey, lottie, 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 hey, hey, lottie, ho. G.I. grits and a G.I. gravy. We're so glad we didn't join the Navy. Lottie, lottie, ho. G.I. trees and a G.I. corn. We're so glad that we're airborne. Hey, lottie, lottie, hey. Here we go. All the way. Every day. All the way. Outstanding. Outstanding. Oh, we got to do PT. All right. Last run of the week. Somebody get started. Made the first right now. Let's get on it. Let's do it. Hard work, work. Oh. Hard work, work, work. I earn my pay. Hard work, do it every day. I get up by the 2:45. Every day, I earn my pay. Hard work, work, work. Hard work, work, work. That's what they said. Hard work, I earn my pay. Come on now. Let's go to work. Oh, hard work, work. Hard work, work. Oh yeah. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. Oh yeah. Hard work, work. And every day, hard work, work. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. On the airplane. In the early morning rain. Woo! Hard work, hard work. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. Hard work, work. Sit them on down. Hard work, work. 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 Okay. All right. I'll tell you what, this PT's got to go. Man, my flag came down. What's up with that? Anyway, good morning to you. I got to fix that right now. It's time to rise and shine, people, as we pay homage to all of our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. And to our local heroes, Montgomery Police Department, the Fire Department, especially those guys that everybody who goes in when everybody else is going the other way. Outstanding. ALEA, Alabama Law Enforcement Agency. We still call them state troopers. I don't know who the hell came up with that name. But anyway, and say good morning to his honor the mayor, Stephen Reed of the city of Montgomery. I'm probably the only one that says good morning to him anymore. But he's probably still asleep. I know they get to sleep late when you get them big offices. But I'm not asleep. I'm keeping a watch out. I'm on guard duty. And I will guard everything within the limits of my post and quit my post only when I'm properly relieved. That was our first general order, just in case y'all didn't know what that came from. I can't believe I still remember that. That drill sergeant must have really beat me down. And again, let's pay homage to Maxwell and Gunner Air Force Base. After all, this is an Air Force town. I want to say good morning to all the folks who come here to learn from our Well, I like to call them our top guns from all over the world to come here and learn from the best. Outstanding, outstanding. Well, let's get up. You're wasting daylight.
To the shores of Tripoli, we will find our country's banners in the air on the Dead Sea. Let's take off.
They're called many things: jarheads, devil dogs, whatever you want to call them. But you better put some spec on that by calling them a Marine first, whose motto is Semper Fidelis, which means always, always faithful. You know, I could have been a Marine. I just want y'all to know that it could have happened. They could. I'll tell you the story one day. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't told it already? All righty then. All righty. All right, right now, 6:28 in the morning, we'll come back with Admiral McRaven. Well, how to change the world. Okay, you know, it's Friday. I got to put out my motivating thing on Fridays because I got to make sure you guys are left with something positive. But today, in the next hour, we're going to start a conversation that I rarely have. I rarely have this conversation. But every once in a while, you got kids, right? Every once in a while, you have to sit down and talk to them about some things. Uncomfortable things, but we got to talk about it because not talking about it, if everybody comes in the room and they see an 800-pound gorilla, now you don't know why the gorilla's there, but you do know an 800-pound gorilla is dangerous because you never know when his attitude's gonna change. Well, today we're gonna have that conversation about an 800-pound gorilla in the room. We're just gonna have it. We hardly ever do because I don't normally like to get that. I don't ever like normally get that sophisticated. But there are some issues that plague our communities that you cannot. Somebody once said when you are introduced to the truth, you got one or two choices. You can acknowledge it or you can ignore it. It doesn't change it. Well, I'll get to that. We'll get to that next hour. But this hour, when we come back, lessons of life and the word of the day. But we're gonna have this conversation because well, shall we say, we will we will we will we will we will talk. We got something serious to talk about today. Now, I don't normally get too serious because my personality just won't allow that. I just can't do it. But however, there's some things intellectually that I believe that we have to have a conversation about. And today is one of those moments. I'm glad it's Friday. It's going to take me the whole weekend to get over this. But we're going to have to talk about some things, but not this hour, next hour. Okay. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine, people all over the world, and folks who listen to us from all over America. We appreciate it. Don't be wasting daylight though, because there's light outside, which means that you ever notice something? You ever notice? I want to think about this for a second. Why do some people get more done than other people do in a given day? When everybody has the same thing. Something to think about, huh? You bet.
Weather forecast. Montgomery's Skywatch traffic. Look at family owned, family news radio 24. The saga of Pokemon Go fans versus Niantic continues as the game's developer released a second statement this week. When Pokemon Go fans first voiced their outrage and changes, the developer essentially stated that they didn't care. Now that the game is done, with Niantic stating that they're hoping to keep an open line of communication with fans to address their concerns. Do you believe that anything will change, or is Pokemon Go stay sealed? It's delivering greetings. New vehicles at the Red sales event going on now. Visit LarryPuckett.com and click on Red that'll let take advantage of all of the savings. Plus, all new tracks, Colorados, and Chevrolet HDs are arriving now. Call them today for details. Shop new vehicles and select Hyundai vehicles today. Visit Larry Puckett Chevrolet in Brooklyn or shop online at LarryPuckett.com. Larry Puckett Chevrolet. Better involved. I told you that.
One search engine is used by 9 out of 10 consumers. It begins with a G. There are hundreds of things that fall to the we have nothing. You find yourself in nature. We have the expert system that's wrong and good. High-powered competition. We started today. Now let's go. Well, that's
all that. No, I went to 42.5 yesterday. God knows in my health today. Now hold on. 43money.com. You get 5 kids. Yeah, man, that's right. 43money.com's business provider. You know, people like you and me, even if you don't have good credit, man. That's right. You'll borrow somebody else's money. You need extra money fast. 43money.com. You have a checking account and a regular social account. 43money.com. You can get the money you need now. 43money.com. You need to 43money.com. Directly into your address. That's 43money.com. Again, 43money.com.
With Guaranteed Gary live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Alrighty then, it is 6:39 in the morning. Let's go to our Admiral Raven, who used to be the America's top Navy SEAL, but he has some lessons for us today on how to change the world. What do you got?
World. I have a few suggestions that may help you on your way to a better world. And while these lessons were learned during my time in the military, I can assure you that it matters not whether you ever served a day in uniform. It matters not your gender, your ethnic or religious background, your orientation, or your social status. Our struggles in this world are similar, and the lessons to overcome those struggles and to move forward, changing ourselves and changing the world around us, will apply equally to all. So here are the 10 lessons I learned from basic SEAL training that hopefully will be of value to you as you move forward in life. Every morning in SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we were aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day.
First task of the day.
It will give you a small sense of pride, and will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. During training, the students are all broken down into boat crews. Each crew is 7 students, 3 on each side of a small rubber boat, and 1 coxswain to help guide the dinghy. Every day, your boat crew forms up on the beach and is instructed to get through the surf zone and paddle several miles down the coast. In the winter, the surf off San Diego can get to be 8 to 10 feet high, and it is exceedingly difficult to paddle through the plunging surf unless everyone digs in. Every paddle must be synchronized to the stroke count of the coxswain. Everyone must exert equal effort, or the boat will turn against the wave and be unceremoniously dumped back on the beach. For the boat to make it to its destination, everyone must paddle. You can't change the world alone. You will need some help. And to truly get from your starting point to your destination takes friends, colleagues, the goodwill of strangers, and a strong coxswain to guide you. If you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys, the Munchkin crew, we call them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys, from every corner of the nation and the world, always had the last laugh, swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. Several times a week, the instructors would line up the class and do a uniform inspection. It was exceptionally thorough. Your hat had to be perfectly starched, your uniform immaculately pressed, your belt buckle shiny and void of any smudges. But it seemed that no matter how much effort you put into starching your hat, or pressing your uniform, or polishing your belt buckle, it just wasn't good enough. The instructors would find something wrong. For failing the uniform inspection, the student had to run, fully clothed, into the surf zone, then wet from head to toe, roll around on the beach until every part of your body was covered with sand. The effect was known as sugar cookie. You stayed in the uniform the rest of the day, cold, wet, and sandy. There were many a student who just couldn't accept the fact that all their efforts were in vain, that no matter how hard they tried to get the uniform right, it went unappreciated. Those students didn't make it through training. Those students didn't understand the purpose of the drill. You were never going to succeed. You were never going to have a perfect uniform. The instructors weren't going to allow it. Sometimes, no matter how well you prepare or how well you perform, you still end up as a sugar cookie. It's just the way life is sometimes. If you want to change the world, get over being a sugar cookie and keep moving forward. Every day during training, you were challenged with multiple physical events: long runs, long swims, obstacle courses, hours of calisthenics, something designed to test your mettle. Every event had standards, times you had to meet. If you failed to meet those times, those standards, your name was posted on a list, and at the end of the day, those on the list were invited to a circus. A circus was 2 hours of additional calisthenics, designed to wear you down, to break your spirit, to force you to quit. No one wanted a circus. A circus meant that for that day, you didn't measure up. A circus meant more fatigue, and more fatigue meant that the following day would be more difficult, and more circuses were likely. But at some time during SEAL training, everyone made the circus list. But an interesting thing happened to those who were constantly on the list. Over time, those students who did 2 hours of extra calisthenics got stronger and stronger. The pain of the circuses built inner strength and physical resiliency. Life is filled with circuses. you will fail. You will likely fail often. It will be painful. It will be discouraging. At times, it will test you to your very core. But if you want to change the world, don't be afraid of the circuses. At least twice a week, the trainees were required to run the obstacle course. The obstacle course contained 25 obstacles, including a 10-foot wall, a 30-foot cargo net, a barbed wire crawl, to name a few. But the most challenging obstacle was the slide for life. It had a 3-level, 30-foot tower at one end and a 1-level tower at the other. In between was a 200-foot long rope. You had to climb the 3-tiered tower, and once at the top, you grabbed the rope, swung underneath the rope, and pulled yourself hand over hand until you got to the other end. The record for the obstacle course had stood for years when my class began in 1977. The record seemed unbeatable until one day a student decided to go down the slide for life head first. Instead of swinging his body underneath the rope and inching his way down, he bravely mounted the top of the rope and thrust himself forward. It was a dangerous move, seemingly foolish and fraught with risk. Failure could mean injury and being dropped from the course. Without hesitation, the student slid down the rope perilously fast. Instead of several minutes, it only took him half that time. And by the end of the course, he had broken the record. If you want to change the world, sometimes you have to slide down the obstacles head first. During the land warfare phase of training, the students are flown out to San Clemente Island, which lies off the coast of San Diego. The waters off San Clemente are a breeding ground for the great white sharks. To pass SEAL training, there are a series of long swims that must be completed. One is the night swim. Before the swim, the instructors joyfully brief the students on all the species of sharks that inhabit the waters off San Clemente. They assure you, however, that no student has ever been eaten by a shark, at least not that they can remember. But you are also taught that if a shark begins to circle your position, stand your ground. Do not swim away. Do not act afraid. And if the shark, hungry for a midnight snack, darts towards you, then summons up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. As Navy SEALs, one of our jobs is to conduct underwater attacks against enemy shipping. We practice this technique extensively during training. The ship attack mission is where a pair of SEAL divers is dropped off outside an enemy harbor and then swims well over 2 miles underwater, using nothing but a depth gauge and a compass to get to the target. During the entire swim, even well below the surface, there is some light that comes through. It is comforting to know that there is open water above you. But as you approach the ship, which is tied to a pier, the light begins to fade. The steel structure of the ship blocks the moonlight. It blocks the surrounding street lamps. It blocks all ambient light. To be successful in your mission, you have to swim under the ship and find the keel, the center line, and the deepest part of the ship. This is your objective. But the keel is also the darkest part of the ship, where you cannot see your hand in front of your face, where the noise from the ship's machinery is deafening, and where it gets to be easily disoriented, and you can fail. Every SEAL knows that under the keel, at that darkest moment of the mission, is a time when you need to be calm, when you must be calm, when you must be composed, when all your tactical skills, your physical power, and your inner strength must be brought to bear. If you want to change the world, you must be your very best in the darkest moments. The 9th week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and one special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down in the Mud Flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive this freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction of the rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted. And somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud. Finally, in SEAL training, there's a bell. A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit, is ring the bell. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to wake up at 5 o'clock. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to be in the freezing cold swims. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure the hardships of training. All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever, ever ring the bell. It will not be easy. Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never, ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better. Thank you very much.
How to change the world. Doesn't really seem to take that, doesn't really seem a very difficult thing to do, does it? But it can be. Good morning, everybody. I hope this day, it's a Friday morning. It is, I'm supposed to have a guest coming up sometime today, 8 o'clock, something like that. But other than that, we'll do other things. We're going to have an interesting conversation today. I want you guys to stay tuned in the next hour. But this hour, now it's time for Lessons of Life and the Word of the Day. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. We have a serious conversation today, which is rare for me because I don't normally have serious conversations. But there does come a time when you got to set the kids down and have the talk, like I did Z, before I sent them out there to ASU and in Upward Bound program to live out there amongst them women. And so I had to have the talk. You know, now this is, of course, he already knew, but I could not abort. I could not abort my obligation to tell him about the birds and the bees. But I think he knows more about the birds and the bees than I do. Okay, I'm just saying. So every once in a while, though, you got to sit down and have the talk. And we're going to have the talk today. Anyway, good morning to you. Lessons of Life and the Word of the Day. The word of the day today is to make someone very happy or excited or elated. What word is that? That's the definition. And just like Jeopardy, what is the answer? To make someone very happy or excited or elated. The answer is, what is exhilarate? Okay, that's right, exhilarate. All right, that's the word of the day, exhilarate. To make someone very happy and excited or elated, like that word elated thing there, you know, like that little extra added little cushion there. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, lesson of life today You ever have you ever have a feeling in your gut? You ever had a feeling in your gut that something was either right or something was wrong? You ever look at something and know something wasn't, you don't know what it is, like your kids. You know when your kids are a little bit off. You know, they're a little bit, even though their mouth is not saying anything, but you know when things are a little bit off. You know, you just know, right? Okay. Well, that's because every once in a while, every once in a while, I don't know when that is, you got to make that decision yourself. But every once in a while, we have got to pay attention to your heart because sometimes the heart sees what is invisible to the eye. So don't dispatch your heart. Don't ignore the things you feel sometimes because sometimes they're telling you more than the things that you see. So I mean, be prudent decision making process. But don't ever ignore the heart. It sees things that your eyes don't. We'll be back in a few.
On News Radio 1440. Indeed.com.
Permanent beginning in Washington. Another indictment of former President Donald Trump. This one for his alleged mishandling of classified documents. CBS's Catherine Herridge has the details. Three candidates have announced his own indictment on social media. Former President Donald Trump declared his innocence and blamed Democrats for the special counsel here. Trump's attorney says the 7 counts include unlawful retention of national defense information, obstruction, conspiracy, and false statements. The former president will be arraigned in Miami next Tuesday. The prosecution is expected to deliver a rock-solid case. CBS's Robert Costa.
With you last night and this morning to former federal prosecutors who know Jack Smith, the special counsel. They said he would not bring these series of charges unless he felt that he could win this case. That this is something that is serious.
CBS's Nicole Kelly and his reaction from Capitol Hill. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy called it a dark day for the U.S. And that would what he called this brazen weaponization of power. Republicans forever dangerous. And so no one is above the command of law. This is the first former president who has been indicted by federal government. Local Canadian wildfires continues to blanket several U.S. cities, including Philadelphia.
I'm really worried about how long this is going to last.
Meteorologist Stephanie Abrams at the Weather Channel answers that question.
This weekend and early next week, a system will come through. It's going to give us more of a southerly flow, direct the smoke away from the U.S. The rain is going to help clear out the air, and it's going to flow right over the flames.
More than 111 million people in the United States have been living under air quality alerts due to the smoke from those wildfires. Many outdoor activities suspended, as people have been urged to remain indoors and protect themselves from the noxious smoke. The French town of Annecy is in shock after yesterday's stabbing attack at a playground. CBS's Ben Kelly has details on the suspect. Prime Minister said he is Syrian and had applied for asylum in France, but this was refused just days ago because he already has refugee status in Sweden. He has a wife in Sweden and a child of the same age. Four toddlers, and she would just stand. The Vatican says Pope Francis is progressively improving. He's underway surgery this week to remove intestinal scar tissue and to repair a heart in his abdomen. This is CBS News.
Dazzle without the hassle. Indeed, indeed. Their powerful platform to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Is it Indeed?
My daughter-in-law me, and now my sister have to sell their home. I told my husband we could not get it any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000. We were $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote has an identity coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote can save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your SelectQuote at 1-800-330-1991. That's 1-800-330-1991. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-330-1991. You're safe. For details and example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
It's the most important message ever. The photograph with millions of dollars in consumer losses last year. CBS with Christopher Cruz now.
The Federal Trade Commission says an analysis of a random sample of 1,000 text messages reported to the agency found that fake bank security messages, often supposedly from such banks as Bank of America and Wells Fargo, were the most common type of fraudulent text. The FTC says the texts are designed to create a sense of urgency, often by asking recipients to verify in large transaction that, of course, they didn't respond. You're connected to a fake bank representative who will try to get your information and then empty your account. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
UBS says structure without credit scores at the same time, the Elkins behind the developer credit suisse will be held responsible. Linda Kennedy, News.
Just have a picnic.
that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 books. Call information guide.
Okay, then we are back. Good morning, everybody. Hope that they find you well and finds life treating you as best it can. It's a Friday morning here in the great state of Alabama. Of course, it's Friday morning. Everybody on this side of the whatever that line in the ocean is. It may be Saturday someplace, and it's probably maybe Thursday some other. I'm not sure. But the international date line, that's something. Yeah, it may be Saturday already someplace or Thursday. I don't know. But anyway, but in Montgomery, Alabama, it is Friday morning. So yesterday, there was a lot of hoopla going on in America about this Court, about this Supreme Court um, decision. And all of a sudden now the Supreme Court says, well, black people were treated unfair. Must be election season or something coming up. But anyway, and so I began to ponder. I began to ponder where we are as a people, as black people in America today. First of all, let me say that I spent most of my 30 years in radio trying to tell people that where you are or where you want to be or where you want to go, for the most part, is up to you. There's no Republican coming to save you. There's no Democratic guy that's coming to save you. You get to go where you go because of the good Lord and your willingness to do hard work. And that doesn't guarantee success. But there is one thing that guarantees failure if you don't do something. Okay. So yesterday, I didn't get the rest of myself after that. It's not important. So yesterday comes down. It comes down from the Supreme Court. Oh Lord have mercy. Black folks are just done wrong, which may in fact be true. But here is my issue. Every couple of years, some court decision comes down from on high. The Supreme Court, appellate court, local court, whatever, the court of whatever. Something comes down that gives you false hope that somehow that decision by 8 men or 9 men, whoever it is somehow going to change the life of all of us as black folks in America. So I began to look. I live here in Montgomery. I lived here longer than any other state, so I can only go by what happens here. Every once in a while, we get an additional congressional district. Oh yeah, yeah. We're moving on up now. Yeah, we moving on. We're moving on up. Okay. And funny thing about it, we're the only people that move up going laterally. Okay. We move up, but not really. We don't find ourselves in any better situation as a group of people than we did before we moved, quote unquote, we moved up. Okay, this ain't like the Jeffersons, we're moving on up to that high place in the sky. No. We move up laterally. We don't move up, we just move to a different seat of poverty, to a different political jail. Okay, so yesterday, when I get the word down that the court said, well, black people are just did wrong, and which is true. Okay, on yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down Alabama's congressional maps. Republican nominated Justices Roberts and Kavanaugh joined the court's liberal voting bloc in Allen versus Milligan to find that Alabama's 7 U.S. House districts were drawn intentionally to dilute the voting power of black Alabamians in order to and to order a redrawing of that creates an additional black majority district to align with the state's 27% black population. So, Lord have mercy, we had everybody on TV. We had the pundits on TV, the Democrats saying, oh, yeah, it's blah, 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 blah. It's unfair, and we're going to rectify some things now. Well, I've been hearing that for 66 years. 50 of those years, I know what the hell they were talking about. The rest of them, we're going to put that up for grabs. Says Alabama discriminated against black voters. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. All I know is that, and here's the question I have to ask. Out of all the so-called programs that have come about under each party, come about of each party, here's the question I have to ask everybody today. Are black folks any better off? Really? We're no better off voting for Democrats like we do at 97 percentile than voting for Republicans. But what I do like about the Republicans, they don't pretend to love you. They say it's more important that you love yourself, which I agree with that. Okay? Democrats promise you. And here's the bottom line. Ladies and gentlemen, and my brothers and sisters, here's the bottom line. No court case when it comes to voting, you are not a consideration. I'm sorry, you're not. The black population has never been and probably never will be a consideration in whether or not a district, a council district or council seat or whatever the case may be is of any importance. It will never, you will never become important in those rulings. Never. Because it's not about you. Okay, it's not about you. And I went to speak in front of the Alabama Senate committee one day. It's never will be. The districts are not about you as an individual, even as a populace, part of the populace. These things are about a political party. It's got nothing to do with you. Not a thing. That is why black folks, and I'm one of that group, I know it's hard to believe sometimes, our positions really haven't changed very much, regardless of what Plessy versus Ferguson or Brown v. Board of Education. I mean, listen, we get all these court cases, and our position, it never goes up. It goes lateral, to the left or to the right, but it doesn't go upward. It never has. Can somebody? Here's the question I have: is there any place in America, just one place, in America that is ran by a majority population of black that is doing well? Is there any city in America that's ran predominantly by black folks that's doing really well economically? The education system is working well. Is there any such a place in America? So here's my question: has America been, for whatever the reason is, has America been fair to black people? I think that's a question that now I talked to one of my colleagues up here who said, well, the systems are geared against you, and they may be. I don't know, but I do know that I have spent the majority of my life in public on the airways telling people it's up to you, and it is up to you. It is up to you. But every time these court things come down, I just want you guys to know this is not about you. It's not about the individual black person. This is about the strength of a political party. Okay, strength of a political party. It never has been, never will be you. I even got that from Merrill, who's the Secretary of State of Alabama, who said that the parties, it's about parties, and they can make their own rules as they go. Okay, they don't have to. It's never been about black people as a whole, because if that were the case, with all the money that's quote unquote been spent on the Great Society since Johnson and all these other things, we even had a black president, at least half black anyway. Has black folks' lives in America had significant improvement since I have been born, since 1957? Have our lives? Oh, we had a couple of sports athletes who make a little money. We got Oprah Winfrey out there, a couple of people. But then again, that's only them because they did their due diligence to try to maneuver the system and things like that. But have the lives of black folks, because of our political system, be he Republican, be he Democrat, have our lives changed significantly? The worst school systems in America are where? We call them urban schools. That's just another name for black. Crime in America is where? Mostly in urban meccas. Poverty, for the most part, for a group of people who make up 12% of the population of America, even with all these great court changes, court decisions, and all this stuff, have our lives changed significantly? And the answer, everybody knows altogether, no. Because these court cases don't represent the average black person in America. It represents a party of people. It represents political parties and not you. Okay, so while the pundits went out yesterday all over the country, where Alabama discriminated against black voters, like that really matters. I mean, really, like it really matters. Again, is there any place in this country that is predominantly black populated that's doing well? I mean, is there any educational system, except for Valley Cross down there? I know they do. But if there any educational system in America that's populated by black folks, ran by black folks, that's doing really well, except for Valley Cross. I love those guys down there. So why are we celebrating some political parties' victory when it really doesn't do black folks as a whole any good whatsoever? I mean, really, some people was on TV last night act like it was Christmas and things are going to change. We're going to get up in the morning, we're going to have extra $10,000 in our bank account. We can move out this neighborhood where the only people we scared of are people who look like us. Okay, I'm just saying. We need to do some reflection on where we are as black folks in America, and these decisions. They feel good. They make you feel good. Oh yeah, we discriminate against them. Okay then, Now what? Now what? That's a conversation that whether it's the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, the difference between these two parties is one acts like they care about you and one we know really don't. Okay, one says we want black folks in our party, but we don't do much to make sure that happens. One says we got all the black folks in our party and we don't do much about that either. So these decisions have nothing to do with you as an individual. It has something to do with representing and fostering this. It's a collusion between our legal systems and the systems that already prevail amongst our cultures. So I'm just telling you, I'm just, and I had to think about this for a second because last night I said, well, we always get these decisions come down. We always get these decisions that come down, and we know we're in no better shape. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Okay? According to them, Alabama discriminated against black voters when it drew its 7 congressional districts last year. The Supreme Court has ruled a decision that a major victory for the Voting Rights Act. Right, I got your Voting Rights Act right here. Okay? The Voting Rights Act puts a lot of folks in good positions and give them the ability to gain money, but does it really help? Has it really helped black folks to be tethered to that particular party? No. So when you see that something that says Democrat or Republican, it's not about you. It's about them. They get the power, you get manipulated. Okay? The decision was 5-4, with Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh joining the court's 3 liberal justices. And it's because the liberal justices is why we find ourselves in the position we're in now, getting quote unquote all these court victories, but never really getting anything of substance from them. Look at our jails. Look at the murder rate in America. Why is it that 50% of all the murders in this country are done by black folks? We make up 12% of the population, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I don't know, not very much more. What has caused that kind of culture in the black community? So I don't know. Again, it's about education. Can you think of one public school system in America? Which public school system, for the most part, ought to be black school system because that's who's left in them nowadays. That has an excellent record of excellence when it comes to education. You can go to any city in America that has a public school system with a predominantly black populace, and you'll find them struggling. Not because they don't have the intellectual fortitude or the intellectual ability to do what needs to be done to put themselves in a higher and a better place, because I'm beginning to believe we really don't want that, because it's not about them. It is about a party to maintain control and the manipulative wheels of our structured government. I mean, that's just the way I'm seeing it. Just the way I'm seeing it. Anyway, let me I don't know who's going. Anyway, let me take this call before I go. Then I got to go to the first break. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Why is that, brother? Yeah. There's nothing positive from it. Right. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yes.
Listen, they knew exactly what they were doing. These people.
It's not for us. It's not for us. It's not for people. Yeah, happy. Yeah. They are not. They're not. And that's what I'm telling you. Wait a minute. It's not about the person. I already gave you 3. Yeah. Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, I just want you, wait a minute. I want you to acknowledge this. No matter how many Supreme Court, I'm gonna give you the last word. No matter how many Supreme Court justices, no matter how many Supreme Court rulings come down, black folks only move laterally. We never move up. Okay, it's not about it's not about us. It's about the party. You know, because I came up here and asked for it. Yeah, I was a quota. You you think I was a quota? Wait a minute. You think I'm a quota? Let me go down. Well, if I find out to be true, I'll quit. Yeah, okay, see that? See them Democrats got you. They got you thinking that you're a quota. I did. I'm telling you, it's not about you. It's about the party. Okay. Listen. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Anyway, I'll be back in a couple minutes. Gotta take a break. I didn't know I was a quota, but that's okay. That's all right. We got a young person up and down. They're gonna see that. Think I'm a quota. Y'all hurt me this one. Anyway, we'll be back right after these messages. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I am fine.
Good.
I'm having to talk this morning like my children. I'm having to talk. Because we really don't understand that all these citizens ain't got nothing to do with us as individuals. It's got something to do with the political power struggle that goes on in this country between Democrats and Republicans. It ain't got nothing to do with us. Not a thing. Not a thing. If that were the case, at 98th percentile, we vote for Democratic Party. What's our position like in America right now?
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about? Y'all been voting Democrat forever, and we ain't no better off than we were. Ain't no better off. We just give them free labor. Like John Merrill told me. He said, well, like the districts are not for us. The districts are for the party. The Secretary of State told me that. It's got nothing to do with the individual voter. It's so each party can get their representative on the ballot. That's what it's about. Ain't got nothing to do. That's why we're in the same shape now we were in it forever.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad I could educate you. Yeah. But if I'm wrong, let somebody show me. You know, we go to vote. We got people on the ballot that we didn't put there. The parties put them there. So how old are you?
16.
Okay, this is too heavy. This is too heavy.
And me too.
Huh?
And me also.
Mean.
And me also.
Oh no, you you've been here a minute.
We're talking about camp for kids.
Yeah, I know we are. Well, I just thought you was gonna call up and remind me. I know you was coming.
Well, you're worthy.
16. My son is 16. How old is he?
31.
No. Z is.
I'm talking about youngest. Z is not 16, is he?
Yeah, he's 17 now.
Well, should be 17 in October.
Huh?
October?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
What's his birthday?
20.
It's the 9th.
So what's your future plans there, Miss 16-year-old?
I want to go to Kentucky University of Kentucky and run for track and go pro. But if that doesn't work, I'm gonna be an investigator.
What kind of investigator? For the police? Well, he's got a plane. They say, how's it go? Make a plan, work your plan, don't let your plan work you. That's good.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with heart failure,
So what grade you in?
Because without strength,
Going to 11.
Okay, so Z, that's good. But remember, everything you do from this point on matters in your plans. It all matters at this point. I think you take the SAT starting in the 11th grade. The practice one anyway. That's a lot of high scoring. This kid got 1,700 on SAT, and the highest you can go is 18. And they turned her down for a school because he wasn't black. Gee, how did that help?
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. First, I did some reading about it.
Okay, let me turn
I
my
found a lot
thing
of great
on.
advice on how to quit smoking.
You didn't come here.
I just didn't get up on that side this one.
Listen, I understand.
I'm broke and got 200 kids and trying to feed this one.
Me too. I'm gonna leave politics alone with you. That's why I went to a break and came back. So, yeah, that way you wouldn't get involved in that conversation.
I need everybody give me some money. I need to be DR. I need to be green.
Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want
Yeah, I'll get this one. I got Joe Reed coming up.
Joe's coming in?
Huh?
Joe's coming in?
Joe Jr.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him. I heard that
Is he still the president of the?
Yeah. I can't believe John Merrill told me. I said, they threw my vote away in the judgment. They threw the vote away in the garbage. They threw it away. And they put this woman on the thing, the judge on the thing. I said, wait, so the person I voted for, long story. All right. Hey, I got a guest in the house for the time being. But we'll talk about this other stuff later on. We got to have positive things to talk about. You betcha. Okay. Anyway, however, this is positive. This is positive. We have we got two mics, guys. Oh, okay. You can pull that over that way, however you want to do it. Yeah. Anyway, we got a guest. Pastor Alton's up from MAP. Somebody told me, Dennis called me last night. Say MAP stands for Ministry of All People. I thought it was Ministry About People.
It's Ministry About People. Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. Okay. He gave me the blues last night, like he normally does. And who you brought with you?
This is my daughter, Belle.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, then. I must have been up here longer than I thought I was.
You have.
I've been here longer than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Anyway, Belle, good morning.
Good morning.
And what brings y'all up here today?
So we come up this morning talking about the MAP Youth Navigation Camp.
Okay, which is going to do what?
Well, literally, we have a summer camp in West Montgomery for children from age 5 through high school. And we literally are running a camp from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Fridays for young people to be off the street. A very wholesome environment. Got teachers, got academics, got STEM, robotics, got all kinds of activities in West Montgomery for kids to keep them off the street. We got a principal from T.S. Morris who's helping us preventing learning loss over the summer. And so we're doing a lot of good things in West Montgomery. Then we are hosting in the MAP Santana Gym teenagers 14 until from 4 o'clock until 11 o'clock in the evening, trying to keep them off the street in a safe place. And this is what we believe needed in West Montgomery. This is what we believe is needed in the city of Montgomery, a safe alternative for the kids in the streets.
Mm-hmm. And so in order to do that, though, we all know, in order to do that, it takes money.
Well, it takes money, it takes money, it takes money. You know,
yeah.
we're not the government,
mm-hmm.
You know, we're not funded by anyone else. We have a heart to do this, but it takes help to make this happen. So we are asking the community to step up and help us. We asking those who can to sponsor a child. We literally have sponsorship for a child for the whole 8 weeks. You can do it for $500. That's including food, activities, all the things that happen throughout the summer. $500 is going to sponsor that child. You can imagine that's less than $1 or something an hour a day or something. It's not a lot of money, but it's the opportunity for a child you would know who's in a safe place throughout the 8 weeks of the summer. And one of the hardest communities in Montgomery, you know, a lot of crime, a lot of killing, a lot of things goes on there that we need kids to be separated from. And so as we, you know, purpose this program to keep kids in a safe place, we do need the help of the city to help us to do it.
Because too often, at the end, when that bell rings at the end of the year, too often, some of the kids who left to come back don't make it.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have been around since, you know, the '90s, back in the early days. The number of children we have buried, the number of children that we have seen to walk out of school, not doing anything wrong, just living, just happen to be in a wrong place. Those kids up in Dayville at a sweet 16 birthday party. I'm just saying, being out here just dangerous. So we have to provide a safe place for our children. And that's what we're purposing to do. We're purposing, there's a lot of children who want difference, a lot of children who want more. And we'll open the doors. We're providing an opportunity for them to have that.
Okay. Now, if people want to assist you, how do they do that?
Well, you can easily go to our website. Our website is mercyhousemgm.org and donate. You can call the Mercy House. The number is 334-676-3040. You can you can text me if you want to. My cell number is 398-0467. 334-398-0467. We really need help. We're really trying to help these young people in West Montgomery to have a safe alternative to the hot summer troubles.
Hot summer trouble. That's pretty well stated. Again, now you may not have $500 at this particular time, but they'll take anything.
We'll take
what you, because you know, if you got $100, you know that'll go to somebody else's $100, and then somebody else's $100, and somebody else's $50. I mean, so don't not give because you don't have $500. It all helps get to that goal.
We need time. We need your time. We need your talent, and we need your resources. I'm saying, so you may not have any cash, but if you have some time, you can come help out with lunch. You have some time, you can come help us keep the building, the vehicles clean. Whatever you could do, you have some time, you can lend that to us. We really would appreciate that. You may have a talent. You may got one person doing music, another person is doing chess. Gonna have a chess class that, you know, teaching kids how to play chess. So different talents that people may have that may want to lend to help us to reach these children and just in a wholesome environment, just doing something constructive throughout the summer. We welcome your time, your talent, and some person's teaching dance. I mean, different things that we're doing every day, trying to reach these children in a positive way.
I can't help you with chess.
I'll dance. You can go ahead.
Or dance. Yeah, maybe checkers. You know.
You may be able to do checkers.
Yeah, I can't help you with
but you can help us with some computer classes.
Yeah.
You've done that before, and we really appreciate that.
Anyway, so the name of the organization is?
It's MAP. It's the MAP Youth Navigation Program for 2023. And we're really, really excited about it. We're really trying to stretch it bigger than we've done it before, from mornings to evenings. You know, we just every day. Kevin, you know, I've been in Montgomery 40 years now. And I've been working with youth since I've been here. And I've raised a lot of money to do a lot of things. I've raised more money to bury children than I have to send them to college or the summer camp. Can you imagine that? I'll raise a lot of money to put kids in the ground. But we're trying to raise money now for them to live. So we really need some help. You know, every time I ask for money to bury a child, somebody always donates. Sometimes people step up and help out in amazing ways. But we need some help now to cause children to live. So please, whatever you can give, however you can help, please donate to help us out.
Okay, and that website again is
mercyhousemgm.org.
mgm.org.
Yes.
Mercy House, MERCY?
Yes, MERCY.
CY. And your number a number again that people can.
You can call the Mercy House at 676-3040, or you can call me directly, 334-398-0467. And welcome your call. We really need your help, your time, your talent, resources, whatever you can bring to the table. We'll ask the board this morning, and we need it.
All right. Well, Pastor Austin, I thank you for coming up, and Miss
Bell.
Bell. All right, then, who has an interest? She's got a plan. She's got what school you go to?
Park Crossing.
Okay. She's got a plan. I talked about it. I can't tell you about it because I don't want to mess it up for her. But she got a plan for her life and trying to get out of here and do something.
Don't say hi to everybody in Montgomery.
Hello.
Yeah, come on now. Don't be shy. You know you ain't shy all the time, so don't be shy now. Are you going to participate in the program this summer?
Yes,
Okay. All right. So what's your talent? What do you do? You a computer whiz?
No.
Well, you can be. You can be.
So Belle just got back from a week-long mission trip down in Ocala, Florida. So she's been serving. She always helping at the Mercy House, always giving, always doing things to help out. But she's a giver. She's a server. She's always doing good things to help out in the community. I'm so thankful that she's in this program. Just one of the older children in the program that's inspiring others to do better. So we're grateful for that. We have 6 college interns, Kevin, college students with us throughout the summer, serving with us there. So God is blessing us, and we're doing a lot of good things. Just need help.
All right. Again, that number again, if you want to reach Pastor Austin, it's 398-0467, or you can go to mercyhouse.org.
MGM, Mercy House.
You're at Mercy House, that's right, MGM.org. And again, we need 500 per child. But if you don't have the 500 by yourself, tell your friends, tell everybody to go. Everybody got a phone. You can do it on your phone too, I guess. Yeah, and all that stuff. So you can go there. Cause I'm gonna drop something off in there too. I'm gonna tell you how much stuff.
And whatever you give, we appreciate.
Yeah, we appreciate it. All right. Again, that is mercyhousemgm.org. Go there and whatever you can. Nobody's going to turn down any help. Okay, if you ain't got the 500, that's fine. But if you can, because some of y'all get a lot of money. Except me. So let's help out because you either pay once going or you pay twice coming back. Okay, so isn't it better to pay once and get these kids off the street so we don't have to hear about? We just may save somebody's life. So they won't be out in the street. They won't be getting in trouble. And I know Pastor Austin's a pretty a stickler for discipline, so he ain't gonna let them go wild over there either. So anyway, and Bell gonna be able to know Bell, right? Yeah, like Bell. Okay, there's other ways to spell Bell. Yeah, I know. Anyway, we'll be back after this message.
Thank you, sir.
Now, this is something. When is the program going to start, actually?
It started already.
Or started already? Well,
Yes.
you took a long time to get up here.
No, I'm just trying.
Did they set you to go to Mix 103 anything like
They
that?
did. Remember we did all the other day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just coming back to you today. You're on the ball.
All right. Well, nice to meet you there.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Sons Automotive, family owned, family driven on News Radio 1440.
Morning, Montgomery. So far, so good. Right now, we're not dealing with any major problems or issues. Nothing big reported to see you on an alternate route. We're going to keep traffic flow map, traffic moving smoothly into and through the Tri-County area. You keep listening, and we'll keep you posted. You keep listening, we'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Whether your credit's excellent or just plain slow, the home equity loan is just a phone call away. And call a company that'll get it done. Call MCS in Wetumpka. 567-9000. That's 567-9000. Buckle up, it's the law. The Montgomery Skywatch traffic. This is major delay.
Home title theft. It's on the rise and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert, and that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already evicted with a free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free.
Although I'm 30 rolling
Just go
down the
to
strip.
HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Are summer projects already piling up on your property? Come see us at Sun South. We'll help you find the right equipment to meet your needs. And you don't have to sacrifice quality for affordability at Sun South, because John Deere equipment is built to last, with the warranty to back it up. Right now, drive off in a new John Deere 1 Series with loader starting around $195 a month. For equipment to meet your needs, come see us at Sun South. Equipment for those that do.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
I love being a part of Action Team. It helps me help other people. It helps me feel good.
Being a part of a team always feels good. Go for it. Don't even hesitate.
For more than a decade, Major League Baseball players and action teams of high school students have been working together to train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
Once you get there and realize how much you can change someone's life, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Just that simple act that takes 5 or 10 minutes of your time is making a difference and is transforming someone else's life.
All-star Giancarlo Stanton and Chris Capuano join action team captains to make a difference in their communities. And you can too.
Just try it. Just go to one event, one action team event.
If we all show up together, that's what it's all about. It's not just one person, it's a group, it's a team.
It's been incredibly rewarding for me. It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
For more information, go to actionteam.org.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial.
Ben Shapiro.
The Ben Shapiro Show, tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend.
All right, before I had my illustrious guest up here, I was engaged in a conversation with Steve, and Steve is the problem. One of the problems. I love the guy, though. Don't get me wrong, he's a Marine. I love the guy. But we can't talk about it because it sounds negative, what I was talking about earlier. We can't say anything about it because it's negative. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's negative. I apologize that the things we talked about this morning, because everybody's congratulating themselves on then they say, hey, we may need an 8th congressional district in Alabama. Like, that's going to help the folks. Okay. Again, none of these decisions help the individual. These decisions help the parties, the two parties, Republican and Democrat. They don't help you. I mean, hadn't we seen enough of this? Don't we know the end to this story already? They come up with this great big announcement of a decision, and 4 years from now, we're still complaining about the same thing we've always complained about. We're still economically in the same shape that we've been in and will be in 4 years from now, during the next election cycle. I'm just, there's got to be something. But Steve says he didn't hear nothing positive. Yeah, the positiveness out of this is that we realize that we're getting hoodwinked. That's what we're doing. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Well, I do wonder. Well, we're already there. We're already there. So why is it? Would that explain? Right. If you can explain to me then, why is it then that black folks in the 98th percentile are tethered to an ideology that does not serve them well? Independence, independence, independence can serve you better than we've been served. Johnson said in 1964, 64, whatever case may, he said those ends will be voting for us for the next 200 years. And he has been right for almost 100 of them. You know, that's a there are a lot of levels that there are a lot of peelings on that onion that must be peeled back in order to you can't answer that right quick. Anything, yeah. Sure, sure, sure. But mhm, they're not helping. Right. Yeah. Hmm. But as we as a people, right? But we we're like people who put their heads in the sand and say nobody can see me. Okay, we know these things. So what's going to propel us to action? Okay, by our vote, or well, I don't know if the vote helps or not anyway. But yeah. So how do we change the paradigm? How do we change it? Stop getting all excited when the Supreme Court comes down with some stupid ruling that don't help me at all. How do we change that? They don't have to suppress our vote. We don't vote hardly. They don't need to do that. Yeah. How many generations do you believe that's going to take? I agree. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I appreciate it. Outstanding. Anyway, we don't have time now. Joe Reed's supposed to be coming up here. We'll see if he shows up because he's in the big muckety muck in this whole Democratic Party thing. So we'll ask him a couple questions if he's been scared off by coming. But again, celebrating it, we need another congressional district. We got all kind of congressional districts. We have went on the other side of town to bring somebody into a certain district that's on way on the other side of town, trying to get the preponderance of people of color in a particular party, and we're still in the same shape we've always been. Yeah.
News Radio 840.
White House. Xiao Qing of arson and illegal possession of a firearm after she was seen on video setting multiple fires in and around the building.
Is also heard on the CBS News on the hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Linda Kenyon in Washington. Mixed reactions to the news that former President Trump has been indicted by a federal grand jury in the classified documents case.
I think his case is moving. The cards is actually quite exciting.
It's a sad statement, and it's a dangerous moment for us in our history.
CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman explains a little bit about the charges.
It is the retention that is holding on to documents that affect the national defense, and not then giving it back to the rightful owner, the United States of America, and the archives.
CBS's Robert Costa takes a look at how Republicans are responding to the Trump indictment.
So many of the Trump forces inside the party rallying to his side, even his rival, like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said in a statement last night, the weaponization of federal represents a mortal to a free society. And on Capitol Hill, the Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, said this is a dark day for the United States of America.
The former president will be arraigned in Miami next Tuesday. It will be dangerous air from the northeast to the mid-Atlantic and Midwest as smoke from Canadian wildfires continues to make breathing difficult. But honestly, New York meteorologist Greg Elkins said the end is near. That's a good thing.
Air quality has improved tremendously across many of the major East Coast cities that had record high air quality index numbers back on Wednesday. It got a little bit better on Thursday, and now it's even better today and will continue to improve.
The main suspect in the 2005 disappearance of Natalie Holloway will be reported in Alabama today after he was handed over to U.S. custody. Owen Vandersloot's arrival comes roughly a month after the U.S. and Peru agreed on his extradition. CBS's Jenny Chamberlain has the story. Prosecutors say in 2010, 5 years after her disappearance, the Dutch national demanded $250,000 from Beth Holloway, mom, in return for telling Beth what happened to her daughter and where her daughter's body could be found. As part of an FBI sting operation, Vandersloot accepted $25,000 from the family, thus the charges. Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg held a final school strike outside Sweden's parliament as she graduated from high school today. But she says her protests are not over.
We're going to continue it to this every Friday because at the beginning the climate crisis is getting worse, and the other crisis is with all.
This is CBS News.
hiring's a lot easier with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit. As a roofer, I don't have time for that. Homeowners rely on, so I rely on Roofing. Because you can get different types of work together. Give me what I need when I need it. Every branch working together. And with the new Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now from Jimmy, purchase online with Beacon Pro Plus, or their app, and earn up to $1,500. Beacon, always good.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. The business is growing. We've got people all over now. What is that? Meditation? I'm recommending the Elkins phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features. Yep, switching to Uma is a cinch. It's $24.95 per month per user plus taxes and fees. Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at Uma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
This weekend's Belmont Stakes may be in jeopardy due to the dangerous air quality. Your CBS's Stacey Lynn. The 155th edition of the Belmont Stakes is scheduled for tomorrow, and for now, the race is expected to go on. New York Governor said the air quality is a big issue that should be taken seriously. This is not over. You might be arrested, but I don't want people to let down their guard and to become complacent about this. And she subsequently introduced enhanced safety. Those measures include canceling the Belmont Stakes if the air quality index there exceeds 200. Stipulating news. It's racing at a completely different time. Ford is planning to return to the 24 hours of Le Mans next year. And will include the iconic Mustang muscle car and the massive rebranding of the new Mustang Dark Horse-based race car instead. Linda Kenyon, CBS News. Are you drowning in higher ed tech debt? New higher ed tech programs that may protect you from higher ed collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, but even if your profit and rent your bank. With tax relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Exactly, we recommend against the IRS by the time everything's completed and the
Head Start program that is now available for civic tax relief. Civic tax relief special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend doing the other tax company and civic tax relief. Just call 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908. No wait. Call now. 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908. I'm Mark.
It's so negative. So negative. It's just negative. Really? You gotta remember, but you gotta have rain. So,
Sean Kennedy, surveys that the board show.
I don't know where my guest is right now. Wait, he's supposed to be here, but I don't see him. Maybe heard us talking and decided not to show up. I don't know. But that's okay. I can continue on. 860-1440 is the number. You want to get called up, talk to what's on your mind. We were just extolling the virtues of the Supreme Court decision yesterday that really don't mean jack to anybody. Okay, don't mean anything. Your life won't change one little bit. All you're gonna do is give somebody else a job. Won't change your economic activity. Won't help you. But it's Sounds good on paper. Um, Sounds good, but yeah, don't really, don't really take. Don't if I woke up this morning and there was $1,000 more in my checking account because of it, I'm happy. But that is not the case. 860-1440. Let me see what this is. Good morning. Who's this? Hello. That's you. All right then. I don't know why people call me. I'm gonna sit there and hold the phone. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Good fact. Indiana. Mhm. Give me a contradiction. Mm-hmm. They do. They ought, to be, they ought to be able to get it in any public school in America. Any of them. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not harping about the people who send their school. Right, right. The people who send, right. And they are. And they are. They need to go where they are. We need to upgrade the standard. It's well, that's not my call. I'm just telling you that a public school should be adequate and at least equal to any private school in this city. No, no, they're not. No, they're not. Yeah. Wait, who cares? But it's a conversation, brother. Who's no, no. Who benefits from this thing yesterday? And what benefit is it? What benefit is it? I didn't ask you that question. Who benefits from the decision yesterday? How? Tell me how. Tell me how. We can do that now. Yes, we can. We can do that now. Just tell me who benefits. Mm-hmm. And when the Democrats are drawing in their favor, wait a minute, when the Democrats are drawing in their favor, who does that help? Tell me who it helped and tell me how. Okay, wait. Let me make my point, and I'll give you the last word. Let me make my point. Let me make my point, and I'll give you the last word. Give you 1 minute of free, uninterrupted conversation. Let me make my point. There was a election of a judgeship a few months ago. I voted for a candidate on that ballot. They threw the original candidate, what was her name, Sabrina Martin, off. They threw her off. Okay. Wait. Hold it. Let me finish, and I'll give you the last word. I will give you the last word. Let me finish. I will give you the last word. Let me finish. Now, the way it works around here. Let me finish telling you. I will give you the last word. So give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute to make this point, and I'll give you the last word. Okay. Can I get my minute? Can I get my minute? Then I'll give you the last word. No. Okay. All right. I didn't want to hit the two. Sabrina Martin and Fernando Morgan ran for judgeship. They threw Sabrina Martin off, even though she ran for that election for for a year, for the most part. She ran by an election. They didn't expect her to win. The Democratic Party didn't expect her to win, but they let her run as a Democrat. I voted one of the few times in my life for the Democratic candidate. I voted for the Democrat. I voted for Mr. Morgan. Well, they threw Miss Martin off the ballot because it's not about you, it's not about me, it's not about the voter, it is about the party. They threw off the ballot and they dumped Mr. Morgan off. I voted for him. So you would think that the guy who came up second would have won that judgeship, but they went to Birmingham and grabbed somebody else and put them on the ballot that nobody voted for. Okay, nobody voted for her, but voted for her to be on the ballot. She got there by default. So the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, I understand, can do the same thing. It's never been about you. It never will be about you. It is about the party. So these rulings do not help the average citizen who votes for a particular party. These rulings help the party, not you. They took my vote, me and the other 14,000 other people, and threw the votes in the trash. If in fact you and I went up to the election center and stole votes and put them in the trash, they would put us in jail. But the party apparatus threw 14,000 votes in the trash and said, up yours, and we're going to put our own person on the ballot. So tell me that it's about you. It's not. You want to do this? Yes. I'm doing fine. All right there, Mr. Ed. Good morning. Who's this? Mm-hmm. Who's this? Hello? Yeah. Well, listen, everybody's got their perspective. Again, who does it help because they made the ruling? Who does it help? Who does it help? Right. Again, I'm asking you, I'm asking you yesterday, that decision, who does that decision help? Okay. Well, but then that's what I'm on though. Well, we ain't got all day to get there. Who does it help? Okay. Again, who? Okay, I got you. All right, all right. Who does it help? That's all I asked the question. Who does it help? Okay, they've been making decisions at the Supreme Court since Plessy versus Ferguson. Who does it help? And we haven't moved one iota up. We move laterally left and right, but not up. So who does it help? Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. I believe it is. Right. Hmm. Party. It helped the party. No, it didn't. It helped the party. Right. And they have done something similar. They have done something similar, though. Oh, okay. I, right, but I'm only answering the question, but nobody can answer the question. Who does it help? How? Mm, okay. Well, since we don't have a democracy, since we don't have a democracy, exactly. Mhm. But hasn't that always happened depending on what party was involved? I've been here for 32 years. But that don't make it right because nobody didn't challenge it. Oh, but it's still an injustice. Mm, okay. Wait a minute. Can something be wrong even though it never went before the court? Exactly. So just because it hasn't been challenged, yeah, I'm gonna call State Farm. Yeah, yeah. And listen, they need to give it State Farm too. Well, I'm just telling you that that's the way the system is. As long as the Democratic Party don't give it, or the Republican Party don't care nothing about the voter. It's about the system. Well, I don't know what democracy means in today's uh, lexicon. It does not benefit. It does not benefit. It does not benefit black people because this rule happens. Mm. Because it's about money. It's about money. You know that. I know that. I mean, who with the gold makes the rules? Well, I mean, again, they threw my vote off the ballot a few months ago. So, but wait a minute, that's democracy. I voted and they threw the vote away. No, wait a minute. They didn't. They installed her without. She never got one vote to get on that primary ballot. They put her on the ballot. She won by default. She won by default. Okay. Okay. Who benefits? Right. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's a great. We'll be back again. They threw my vote in the garbage along with 14,000 other people and installed somebody on the ballot without the benefit of being voted there. And now we got a judge, which I'm not mad at her. Yeah, I mean, I took the job too. They offered it to me. But now we got a judge who did not run for that office on the primary ballot, did not get any votes. All she had to do was be on the ballot as a Democrat, and black folks are going to vote down the thing, straight ticket, and she wins by default. They took my vote and 14,000 other people and threw it in the trash. So don't tell me about democracy in the Democratic Party here or the Republican Party, because they both benefit as parties, but not we the people.
We'll pass the info on. Appreciate your help. Invisible Pets has indoor and outdoor systems. Not only do they help keep your pet safe, but they've got the perfect start training method.
China, for hostile actions by China's spy balloon all over the country, over our military installations, challenging American international airspace and challenging American ships in South China Sea and international waters. Today's surprise, this is how it's continued. American lawyers are told that the FBI and the FBI director are playing for team by that the Department of Justice has been recognized and the FBI put to the side. That's it. Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today. And he goes like, we busted all the myths about the life insurance. Myth number one, life insurance, I can't afford that. And he goes, we have term life policies everyone can afford. With policies as low as $7 a month. Or myth number two, life insurance policies will work. With workplace coverage usually only equal to a year's salary, that won't nearly be enough to cover your family's ongoing and future expenses. A long-term, affordable policy from Ecos give you the peace of mind that if something happens to you, your family is well covered for years to come. Myth number three, life insurance. At Ecos, a 100% hassle-free online process can give you a quote in seconds, application in minutes, and coverage in hours. With no medical exams or work needed, just answer a few health questions. Get your free online estimate at ethoslife.com. That's ethoslife.com.
I will admit, I will admit this much. You know, if you get a third predominantly black congressional district, that's going to be another congressional district that's poor. That's what the only thing they're going to have in common. 860-1440 is the number you want to get to call them, talk to you. So the process won yesterday, but black folks didn't win jack. Not a thing. Okay, I'm just telling you. Good morning, who's this? Good morning. Mm. Well, you know, I'm harkening back to Nikita Khrushchev said in '62. He said Americans are a bunch of useful idiots. Maybe Kavanaugh was a useful idiot also. But I was like, this is his son. His son was coming. I don't know what happened. I think it went. Yeah. I'll talk to him. I don't know who he is. Oh, him. Oh, yeah, yeah. Why they talk? Why they talk to him for? We always, you know, we go from Montgomery to Trucking to Speedy all the time. I mean, it just trades off. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they got one of those now? Okay. Yeah. They might need to do. Put a hat on. Okay. Good morning, 8:33 in the morning. Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. The Lord says the same. Then. All right. Finish. All righty then. Let me see here now. How do I get up in the right now? Okay. Good morning, who's this? Good morning. Mm-hmm. Well, again, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not to celebrate. It's a thing for the party, not the people.
All this money to the schools and all these to these universities here. Just because your friends are there in charge. You folks need to wake up around here, folks. That's like you're asleep. That's like you're back in the 30s. I tell you, come on, folks, they can do better.
Yeah.
Okay, hon.
All right, my dear, appreciate it. Good morning, who's this? Sorry, I didn't see you there for a while. Good morning. This is Eve. Mm-hmm. I know. 30 years I've been voting. 30 years I've been voting. Okay, I understand. Well, I've actually been to a Democrat meeting too. I know that they're getting I know. I've been to a Democratic meeting too. I've been to an ABC meeting too. I got you. Mhm. I'm an expert in my own life and what I've seen. Yes, I am. Yeah, yeah, and I yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I don't, but philosophically, I'm just not aligned. I do though. When I get invited, they don't invite me. Mm. They did. They threw it in the trash. It's a party thing. It's got nothing to do with the voter. It don't. They can take you. They can take anybody off that ballot they want to. Mhm. Right. That's right. And you can. Yeah, don't ring the bell. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. I was trying to get y'all in there to see the governor. Did it ever happen? Oh, wait a minute. Did you ever get to see the governor? You did? Okay. And we still in the same shape now we were then. Okay. What get us past? What's that doing? What's that doing? Except Biden. Except Biden. I'm gone. I got to take a break. We'll be back. Get money from all these countries all over the world in the sun, and they don't go to jail. Woo! I wonder what that's all about. That's why I stayed off the doggone subject of Trump. Uh, we got to get screwed with that too. But anyway, I'm gonna vote for him again if he's doing the thing. Let's descend. We'll be back right after this. It is 8:42 in the morning, right in the great capital city of Alabama. Yes. Uh-huh. I took my vote and put it in the trash. Put somebody on the ballot that I didn't vote for. Yeah. Let's talk about democracy. We'll be back. That's why I'm never going to vote for a Democrat or Republican ever again.
If you're 19 and older, certain underlying medical conditions such as asthma and diabetes, you can get vaccinated with pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. 65-year-old is also recommended you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today.
I don't know what I would do.
If you're 19 and older, with certain underlying medical conditions such as asthma and diabetes, you can get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. 65-year-old is also recommended you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Citizens, talk to your doctor about vaccination today. One.org/protect yourself. A message from the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer. The American Lung Association. If you're hired, feel like trying to find a community staff, hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marta, president of operations at Texas Hires and Office.
ZipRecruiter helps you find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs.
Seen by 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FRE. Biden and apparently years live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1340.
Okay, we are back. Good morning, everybody. Well, one thing about it, we all want to agree on things. That's good. That's good. 860-1440 number here. Let's go back to phones. 860-1440 is the number here. I'm not getting on the Trump thing. Good morning. Who's this? Oh. Good morning. Who's this? Now, you have a point there, man. But the problem is, I will give the Democrats a credit on brainwashing 101. They should if they put that in all of our colleges, they're already convincing our men and women that they're not what they are. And so now, if we can convince them that, it's the policy, not the people, that's going to make you work. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have to go out there and do some investigation. That's right. Well, that's I mean, that's what like the Tonkerville. I know they had. I've been to Tonkerville a long time. Right. Right. Well, that's good. Well, give me that information. That's so I can pass it on. Oh, no, no. Okay. Well, it's not about the people, though. It's not about the people. It's about the party. Well, I don't have time to get into all of it, but we vote. No, no. Listen. I'm telling you that by the virtue of you just voting Democrat, you think these rulings help you. They do not help the individual. That's Republicans or Democrats. Right. You got to do it yourself. Mhm. No, I think it's more like I know, but we deal with we deal with the systems that we have in place for us right now. We can't change it. Right, but I didn't care. When I bought the house, I bought the house just to live in. I didn't care if the price went up on it. I didn't care. Listen, let me ask you something. Why would a man pay $200 for a pair of tennis shoes that cost $15 to make them for you? So it's about no, you don't have to pay $200. You can go to the Goodwill and find a pair that's been used. It's all about choices. $300 shoe. Okay. No, I'm telling you, bro. I know some ain't middle income that have bought them. Okay. Listen, the next time you see a line outside the door buying tennis shoes, call me. I'll come over and interview. All right. Appreciate it. Let me take one more call. 6:54 in the morning. Good morning. Yes. Why don't you just tell me what you want? Well, that's not what I'm doing, so you can, and it does. So all you need is a pair of shoes because we've been brainwashed to think somebody's name on it makes them worth more. That's right. And the tennis shoes cost about $15 to make. Yeah, that's fine. So don't complain when you're broke. If you don't complain when you're broke that you don't have anything, it costs $15 to make overseas. Because I don't give a crap about a tennis shoe. Because you can't complain. You cannot complain out of one side and then be the reason for the complaint on the other side. I do what all the time? I said, you can't. Well, that's my, listen, I'm a professional complainer. That's my job. If you're going to get paid, listen, if you're going to complain, get paid for it. Get paid for the complaint. I ain't complaining for free. What's that got to do with being a Christian? No, it doesn't. Even in the Bible, it says there's a righteous indignation. There's some things we do as human beings that's crazy, and we have a right to complain about it. But you can't complain and be the reason for the complaint. Righteous indignation, what does that mean? What does righteous indignation mean? Yes, it does. Yeah. I don't, but that's my belief. That's just I'm not telling anybody to believe it. That's just what I believe. Because you sound like you tell me you love God, but you sound like one of the meanest guys I've ever talked to in my life. Okay. I don't control what comes out of other people's mouths. I don't control what comes out of other people's mouths. Okay. And they talk about me and bash me too. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know anything. Listen, I don't know anything about personal things, so I'm going to move on. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah, you got about 30 seconds. All right, and I gotta go. Hey, you got 10 seconds, quick. I don't want to do that either. That would be much for me either. Anyway, time's up. We'll see you next week. The good Lord says the same. Have a great day. Yes, sir. I've got to download it and edit it and get it to you. Send it to you. Yeah. But you don't need it right now, Dave. That ain't gonna be that bad. All right. Well, it's an interesting day. Where'd you go?